What's going on, everybody? My name is Courtney McIntosh, and this is the Black Dad Chronicles. It's been a minute since I dropped the podcast, a couple weeks, but it's been the dog days of summer, so that's why it's been a minute. Just been taking some time to spend with the kids before they go back to school. Spend some extra time with Robin. That's what I've been up to. That's why you haven't gotten a podcast from me in a couple of weeks. But that doesn't mean I haven't been podcasting. I have been doing the wrestling pod. Hit the Ropes Radio on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. You can watch the live stream on YouTube. Download the podcast from your whatever your podcast listening source is, Google Play, iTunes, Podcaster, Pocket Cast, whatever that is. So, oh snap! I got a phone call from my boy Meech. He's usually asleep. Y'all hear the ringtone? That's Warriors domination. Hold on, Mr. Stokes.
Yeah, what up?
Hey man, you just caught me at the beginning of a podcast. What's going on?
No, nothing.
Yeah. I got you on speaker. If you wanna join in on the podcast, feel free. I wasn't gonna really do anything, but maybe talk some basketball. I don't know. It was just a kind of a random podcast to break the monotony of the dog days of summer that I'm going through. In regards to podcasting, I guess.
You're going to talk about basketball and about what? About the Kyrie stuff?
Yeah, man. I love the NBA. The NBA is a 12-month, season. The big blockbuster, I think, Boston made. Boston got worse, definitely. Cleveland got better. That's how I feel about it. I was going to go into more depth, but if you want to, join right in.
I guess I can't say I have anything to do. I'm driving, so.
Okay.
But I don't know. My wife might be calling me back.
Oh, okay. Well, if you got to go, I understand.
I got all my bars back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, finally. I think I'm out of podunk country.
Oh, so how much longer do you have before you get home?
A minute.
Oh, okay.
According to my GPS, I'm slated to get home in an hour and 41 minutes.
Oh, all right. I am doing this via Facebook Live now also. So just because, I was bored, man. It's late. I was trying to finish up some articles. Well, not some articles, an article.
Oh, you got Conor McGregor and Floyd too, though.
Oh yeah, we do have Conor McGregor and Floyd to talk about. I guess we could talk about that. So what do you want to talk about first?
Oh, I don't care. If you feel like rambling on. Before you start, let me call my wife real quick, and then I'll call you right back.
Oh, all right. Go right ahead.
Yeah, all right.
Yep. All right. Sorry about that slight interruption. Meech is my boy. Go back over 20 years. So I guess really the main things I wanted to talk about. Just first, let you guys know what I've been doing. I've been working on a couple, projects. I can't say what. I won't say what, just because I don't want to give it away. You'll have to wait and see. But it's revolving food. You guys, anybody that knows me, knows how I love food and how food fits in with my life. My life basically revolves around food. I did cook in restaurants. I do private chef work. I do private catering. So my food, my life still semi sort of revolves around food. And now made a big change. I have been eating a plant-based diet recently. So it's just me learning new things to cook, new ways to cook, plants. And just, different techniques, just experimenting, man. Because, I like to play around in the kitchen. So I have a food project that I'm working on. I will let you guys know at a later date what it is. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm trying to go really in depth behind the scenes on certain things. But like I said, I was watching That's Delicious on Vice Network. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. That's Action Bronson's food show. Well, my favorite show in the world is and I always forget the name of it because, Anthony Bourdain has had several food shows, and the one that he does right now is not No Reservations. But man, I can't remember what the name of it is. But anyway, that's what I like, food and travel. And that's what Action Bronson does on his show. It's called That's Delicious. The technical name for it is Fuck That's Delicious, because, that's kind of what he says on the show. But man, it's just watching Action Bronson, who was a cook before he was a rapper, just travel, get high, and eat food. And it's one of my favorite shows to watch. So, I was just watching that, and, I just get different things inspire me, especially when it comes to food. And I love when I find something food related that inspires me. It just makes me want to, one, be a better cook. Two, it just makes me want to try, different things. So, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm into. That's what I got going on right now. I'm working on a food project that I hope you guys are like. I'm pretty sure you guys are like. I'm also working on a couple new episodes for this show, the Black Dad Chronicles. I'm trying to get my wife back on the podcast, but she always be talking about she's sleepy and all that. But I mean, she does have to get up crazy early in the morning for work. And I usually don't, so, when I get home, about 10:45, 11 o'clock, it's time for her to go to bed, so she usually has to catch me on an off day. Also, I've been struggling. I did an interview with my boy Johnny, and if you guys didn't know, I'm broadcasting this live via Facebook Live. It is going to come out on Friday, August 25th, I believe, which is already after, it's 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, it's already Friday, August 25th. So this is when it's coming out. So I got a podcast. I recorded an episode with my boy Johnny, and I thought it was going to be the second episode that I lost due to an audio mix-up, because I interviewed a buddy of mine and the audio just didn't record. Then I interviewed Johnny, and it was a great conversation, almost 2-hour conversation. And I'm like, man, can't wait to upload this, what I'm saying? Good conversation, great talk. And then I can't, the file's not an MP3 format, it's not a WAV format, no format that I could, really use. So I downloaded an app, and I was able to convert it to an MP3 file. So that episode should be coming up in a week, probably a week. But like I said, let's get down to the brass tacks of this episode. Just talking some sports. We got Mayweather McGregor coming up on Saturday. But I want to go to the big NBA news of the week. Kyrie Irving got traded to the Boston Celtics. He's been disgruntled in Cleveland, and I can understand why. When he signed his, it was kind of like how the Pistons did Rip Hamilton back in the day. The Pistons got Rip Hamilton to sign his extension, and then like a few days later, they traded Chauncey Billups to the Denver Nuggets for Allen Iverson. Now, as a Pistons fan, at the time, I understood why they made the trade. It was to get cap room, and I agree with it. But Joe Dumars' subsequent use of that cap room, splurging on Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva, was pretty much the beginning of the end of the Pistons as we knew it. But I'm pretty sure that Rip Hamilton does not sign that extension if he knows Chauncey Billups is going to get traded. The whole team was close, especially Rip and Chauncey. Okay, I'm watching the ESPN crawl. This is the first time I'm finding this out about this Mayweather-McGregor fight. Looks like it's going to be a junior welterweight fight at 154 pounds. Just guys, just in case you guys didn't know that. But yeah, I don't think Rip Hamilton signs that extension if he knows Joe Dumars is going to trade Chauncey Billups, just not even a week later. So Kyrie Irving signed his extension, and he's told that it's going to be his team. The team is going to be built around him. Going to be more of a motion offense. He signs his extension, and then the Sports Illustrated piece that LeBron did with Lee Jenkins comes out, coming home. So instead of a team being built around himself, he is now stuck on a team that's been being built for LeBron James. So that's not the type of team that he wanted to. That's not the style of play that he wanted. He sat through it for 3 years. Got a championship, and he actually did the respectable thing when he asked for his trade. There are some people out there speculating that LeBron's camp was upset that he requested the trade, so they leaked the information out because Kyrie had requested the trade a month prior to it actually leaking out. So, LeBron's camp probably got pissed, and his camp leaked it because it was out there that he had not out there, but a month had went by since he made the trade request and nobody knew about it. Kyrie was over in China doing some promo work for Nike, and then it comes out. So Kyrie's dad thinks that LeBron's camp leaked it out. So the trade was, I think Boston got fleeced. All right, so here's my issue with the trade. So the trade parameters were Boston trades Jay Crowder, Isaiah Thomas, Ante Zizic, I believe that's his name. He's a rookie that they drafted last year, and the Brooklyn Nets pick for next year to the Cavaliers in exchange for Kyrie Irving. Just Kyrie Irving. Now, apparently, this was close to the deal that was on the table for Paul George, and they turned that down. If I don't understand Danny Ainge's thinking, because I think Paul George is a way better basketball player than Kyrie Irving. I wouldn't say Kyrie Irving's top 15 player in the league. I would say Paul George is a top 15 player in the league. And he's a two-way player. So basically, you give up the two guys that are your heart and soul of your team, and Crowder and Isaiah Thomas. And it's not that you just give them up, but you give up that pick that is so valuable. I mean, look, man, the Knicks, the Nets suck. Brooklyn has been the worst team in the NBA for the last three. Well, no, Philly. Brooklyn and Philly have been the worst two teams in the NBA the last 3 years. And Brooklyn, we all know, traded their. If you're an NBA fan, you know Brooklyn traded their a lot of their picks to the Celtics, to acquire Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. So one of those picks was this year, which ended up being the number 1 pick this year, which they traded to Philly for the number 3 pick and more assets. Danny Ainge loves assets. But they trade that pick unprotected. It's not like it's top 5 protected, top 3 protected. It's unprotected. So Boston essentially made their chief rival stronger. You give them the only guy. You give up, first of all, in Crowder, you give up the one guy in the league. Well, the one guy in the Eastern Conference who physically could make LeBron a little bit uncomfortable when being guarded. And 2, you give up. I mean, look, if it was Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving straight up, it would just be a lateral move. Because those 2 guys are essentially the same player, except for Kyrie Irving's about 5 inches taller. But then you add Jay Crowder to that mix. You add Zizic, who apparently they were high on, to that mix. And then you add that Brooklyn pick. That's the kicker for me. And listen, I'm a Pistons fan. I hate both teams. But, I mean, bravo Cleveland for pulling, and their rookie GM, Kobe Altman. Kobe Altman's barely been on the job a month, and he pulls off a fleecing of the Boston Celtics. So, bravo to you, sir, for pulling that off. So next, like I said earlier, we got the Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor fight coming up. If you guys didn't know about it, you guys know Floyd Mayweather, 49-0. Probably he could stake a claim for the best boxer in the history of boxing. Although there are several heavyweights who would have a disagreement with that. But here's the thing: Floyd has fought 49 times, and he hasn't lost once. Now, the thing about it is, yeah, he hasn't lost once, but in most of his fights, he's never even felt, pressured. So now the thing that people will complain about when it comes to Floyd Mayweather is he picks and chooses who he fights, and I mean that's smart, but he picks guys who are either just at the very beginning of their careers or at the tail end. So like he should have fought Manny Pacquiao 5 years before he actually fought Pacquiao. It would have been a much better fight. But hey, what happened was he caught Pacquiao when he was old, and Pacquiao lost, and it wasn't close. He fought Canelo Alvarez when he was just a young 21-year-old young buck, and Canelo was, even though Canelo had been knocking people out, he was just too green to even come close to hanging with Floyd. So the difference with Conor McGregor is
within 10.5 miles. The first one is Floyd's 99 barbershop at 337.
Yo, my Google Home just start talking like. I know y'all hear that in the background.
Barbershop at 31225
hey Google,
Orchard Lake Road.
Stop playback.
Nothing's playing right now.
Yo, that was wild, man. Like I didn't say anything to the Google Home at all, but just started telling me like information about Floyd's barbershop and stuff like that. Man, they be watching us, dog. But hey, we still, we love our technology. So, where was I at? Oh, Conor McGregor, 2-division UFC champion. he's not undefeated because he did lose to Nick Diaz. But Conor McGregor, mixed martial artist, he's under contract with the UFC. I'm sorry, junior middleweight bout, 154 pounds. So Conor McGregor, brash, loud. He's a character. Conor McGregor is a character. So pretty much, he has been the one hyping the fight. And he's basically had to sell the fight. He has to sell people that he can beat Floyd Mayweather. He has to sell people on that. And if he can't sell people on it, nobody's going to buy the fight. Listen, Floyd is going to make money hand over fist whenever he fights because he's just that big of a draw. That many people like him. But Conor McGregor is stepping out of his element here, and I think he's going to get washed. Conor McGregor, look, man, if this was the octagon and they were fighting with 4-ounce gloves and he could kick and, do takedowns and all that, it'd be a different story. But, he's in a squared circle. He's in Floyd's arena. He's gonna be way out of his element. And here's the thing, right? So Floyd's a counter puncher. We all know that. Floyd. Now I will say, Floyd Mayweather is probably the best defensive fighter I've ever seen in my life. But Floyd's a counter puncher. Conor McGregor is a counter fighter. He's not gonna, walk up on you. He's gonna wait for you to make your move and then he's gonna attack. Excuse me. It's gonna be interesting. I think it actually. I think it's actually gonna be pretty boring. I'm not spending $100 to watch the fight. I'm not going to the movies to pay $40 for the fight. If I don't go to B-Dubs, which I got like 3 Buffalo Wild Wings near me, within 20 minutes of me, so I can go to B-Dubs, but I'm probably just gonna follow the fight along on Twitter because I know I'm pretty sure somebody is gonna be Facebook Living it. Wow. FC Barcelona just made a pretty big move to replace Neymar. Not really. It's only a few guys that can replace Neymar. But anyway, so I think Conor McGregor is going to get washed. I think this is probably going to be a perfect fight for Floyd to actually show that he can punch people. I think he's just gonna stick and move, just pegging with peppering with shots and not get caught. Because man, hey, love him or hate him, Floyd Mayweather does not get hit in the boxing ring. He doesn't get hit. I will say the only time I've seen a Floyd Mayweather fight and where Floyd looked like he was in any trouble was against Zab Judah. I actually think that Zab Judah was winning that fight until Floyd hit him in the nuts. In that fight, it was a low blow, like in the 5th round. And it was basically over after that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got, It's been a long week. Like I said, I've been, I took a step away from the podcast. Not really took a step away. I'm just working on other things. I'm trying to put my hand in a lot of different places. Work on, some different projects just so I can, I don't know, man. I like talking. I like podcasting. And I want to, do something more than just the two. Well, I shouldn't say I want to do, more. I just want, I kind of just want a bigger platform than what I have now. So I'm trying to learn how to, the basics, not really the basics, but I'm trying to learn like the ins and outs of putting together, putting a podcast together from start to finish, beginning to end, putting it on my, starting a website. Go to the VC.com, by the way. If you haven't, a group of friends and we started a website. It's called thevc.com. It is www.thevc.com. Post about, black culture, sports, anything that's going on, positive, regarding black folk. That's what you're going to find on there. It's not going to be no World Star on there. It's not going to be Ratchet on there. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do something good for the culture. As a matter of fact, I got an article I've been working on about podcasts for about 3 weeks, and the guys are kind of upset with me because it's taking me so long to, throw this article up, but it will be up by the weekend. That's it, guys. I am about to get out of here. Be on the lookout for more podcasts because it's back to school coming up. So I will have a pod about, back to school and, because I got kids. I know I got friends whose kids have already gone back to school. My kids, I live in Michigan, so luckily, my kids, lucky for them, they don't go back to school until the day after Labor Day. So good for them. That's how it was when, growing up. Michigan's been like that. Be on the lookout for those. Tune into the VC.com for all of your black culture news. And that's it, y'all. Facebook Live, y'all can't hear the intro I got, but my intro is fire. If you've listened to the podcast before, you've heard this fire. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's outro. My intro is fire too, but my outro is fire. And I've spit a couple bars over it. But yeah, Facebook, y'all can't hear that. So Facebook Live, I'm out. Peace.